Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing tonight? Please say hello. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're from. Hello, Carol. Hello, Melanie. Please grab a pen and paper because I've got some great info for you tonight. I'm a wee bit early, so of course I'm having issues again with comments. I do not know why. Well, just bear with me a minute, folks, while I try to fix this. All right, there we go. Hello, Pam. I see you're here as well. While we're waiting for 6:30ish, remember that just a few reminders here. You need to, if you want paper pumpkin, you need to order it before the 10th. The 10th is the last day to order that Christmas paper pumpkin. There's a new kit out today. Details are on my VIP group. And the clearance rack gets refreshed at midnight tonight. And everything is while supplies last. So make sure you check all that stuff out. And if you could just say hello, and we are going to get started. I am going to teach you something tonight that how do I explain this? I'm going to teach you tonight about casing. You've all heard the word case, I'm sure. Some people say it's copy and share everything. I prefer to think about it as copy and selectively edit. So tonight I'm going to teach you how to case, not copy. We all search for inspiration in different places. And we look on Pinterest, we look on other people's blogs, we look on Google, we look on the Stampin' Up Facebook page, we look everywhere. Okay? We all are looking for inspiration. But way too often, people simply find a card and duplicate it. So tonight I'm going to teach you how to case and not copy. Now I was talking with my husband a little bit ago, and I told him that I was going to teach my girls about limes. Limes. And he goes, "Oh, limes go good with tequila." So I said that I was going to use that and say that my husband said I'm teaching about tequila. But no, actually, I'm going to teach you about limes. Now, this is not my idea at all. This is an acronym that was put out there by Ardyth Percy-Robb. And down here is her YouTube video if you'd like to watch it. And she says that we need to think about LIMES. LIMES stands for list, include, modify, exclude, and spin. So every time you go to design a card, think about limes. You need to list what you see. Now that could mean colors, techniques, elements, shapes, okay? Just write a list about what you see. Then you're going to include what you must or what you want. You're going to modify what you can. You're going to exclude what you don't want. And you're going to spin it. You're going to put your personal spin on it. If you see me keep hitting this, my arm going across here, it's because I keep losing my comments. So I just have to keep refreshing it. Okay, so limes. List, include, modify, exclude, and put your spin on it. Now, I am going to show you how to do this tonight. And once you see how easy it is to do, you are not going to be copying anybody else's cards. You're going to take somebody else's card, you're going to write down the limes, and you're going to figure out how to make your card because you can do it. So I just went into a box of cards I had behind me, and I didn't even look. I just stuck my hand in and I pulled one. Hello, Michelle. So I pulled this card. Now, this is a pretty simple card. I love it, but it's a pretty simple card, okay? So I needed to look at this card, and I need to do my limes. So when I am listing what I see navy, smoky slate, and real red. I see the boat. I see dry embossing. I see dimension. I see texture. I see that it's a mail card. I see gold gems. I see that it's simple. I see that there are layers. I see that there is coloring. I see that it is a little bit flat. There's no pop-up of dimensionals. I see a rectangle and I see circles. So that is the list of what I saw. Color, technique, elements, and shapes. Now I'm going to include what I want to. So I want to include the boat because I like the boat. I want to include dimension, texture. I want to make it a mail card. I want it to be simple. And I want there to be layers. Okay? I'm going to exclude all of the colors. I'm going to exclude the dry embossing. I'm going to exclude these gold gems. And I'm going to exclude the coloring. Then I'm going to modify it. I'm going to make my colors black, white, and green. I'm going to add some designer series paper. I'm going to make it a fun fold. That's going to give it some dimension. And my comment over here was that it was flat, not a wow. The fun fold is going to fix that. And instead of rectangles and circles, I'm going to use squares and a tag, possibly. The spin, I haven't figured out yet what the spin is because I haven't made this card. So I'm just going to grab the supplies that I brought in for tonight, and we are going to create this together. I chose the stitched shape dies, the layering ovals dies, and the sailing home stamp set for this card. So I'm going to grab my bits and pieces. We're going to do 2 of these just to show you how easily you can flip this card into a totally different card while using this card for inspiration. So I took a standard card base and then I'm going to flip it. Now we have a fun fold. That wasn't very difficult, was it? All right, now I am going to put a layer on the inside so that I have a nice place to write my greeting. And I just want to be careful to match my borders, because then I'm going to take this piece of DSP and this one is going to go here. And I'm going with the black side because that was my color spin. Black, white, and green. So that's going to pop on there. Okay. Now I have another piece of DSP that's going to go down this other side. And That's just going to snug right in there like so. So check that out. Isn't that interesting? That's not a boring card. All right, so I chose squares instead of circles and rectangles. Okay, so now we have to do some stamping. I am going to grab my mat and I'm going to grab a block and I'm going to grab my sailboat. And I'm going to grab those two. All right. And because I have said that I am not going to be doing any coloring, this is just going to be a black and white image. And hopefully, oops, did you see that? Almost took out that card. All right. Let's get this puppy inked up and see how it looks just black and white. I've got a little piece of paper there. There we go. And I'm going to put this off to one side. And then I'm going to grab another block. Actually, I think I'm going to grab a greeting first. How about we say thanks? That's always a good thing to say, isn't it? All right. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Thanks. And then we will put the birds on and pop some birds up here. Beautiful. All right, I'm happy with that. We'll get those blocks out of the way. And we're going to take our green square and some Tombow and put this together. Actually, I don't want to do that. I messed up. Imagine that. I'm going to grab some dimensionals and mix it in with my Tombow. How do you think of that? Because one of the things that I didn't like about the other card, that it was really flat. So we're going to pop this up because we really need to glue the green piece down to the flap. So we can't pop it up there. All right. And I am going to pop this down onto the green matte layer, and we should have just a little wee border. And then this is going to go on here, and I'm just going to center it. So watch this trick. That's where I want it. I'm going to slide it down a bit and make a mark. And I'm going to slide it up a bit and make a mark. And that's going to tell me where I can put my Tombow. There we go. And now this can be centered back on here, like so. All right, now I wonder, what do I want for some embellishment on this? This is a masculine card, and we can't go with more black, but perhaps we could bring in some of these tiny, tiny metallic pearls in silver. And I think I'm just going to grab my tool and put 3 of them right down here. Just add a little something, but nothing too frou-frou. Frou-frou. All right. Let's see what we have here. I'll get this and give it another good burnish. There we go. So here is my case of this card. Yes, there are a couple similarities, primarily the birds and the boat, but other than that, totally different card. See how casing can be switched up? All right, that's one card. I'm going to case this same card again, but I'm putting a totally different spin on it. All right, I'm just going to leave this up here, and I am going to bring in our next card. So, let me get rid of this. We're going to go back to our book one more time. LIMES. List what you see, include what you want, modify what you can, exclude what you don't want, and put your spin on it. Okay? I'm really going to spin this one up, because from this masculine card, I'm going to make a very, very feminine card. So I am going to burnish. And this time I have the same piece of Whisper White because we need to have a nice place to write our greeting. And I have the same color card base, but my other 2 colors that I chose are Soft Succulent and the new pink, polished pink. So that's a far cry from the nauticals or from the black and whites that I did before. And I chose the in color DSP in Soft Succulent, and I'm going to use the plaid, even though that's not overly feminine. But I'm going to use the opposite side over on the other side here, so it will all work out. And this one I've designed to have just a little bit wider border here. Now I'll put the floral on the opposite side. Anybody have any questions? Thank you, Carol. This is too wide, way too wide. Heavens. Bear with me a moment. I have got to fix my mess up, because once again, I've messed up. Let's go 1/2 inch this time. Let's try this one. Yes, I'll peel that other one off after. There we go. That looks much better. And now I have some adhesive right here. I'm not going to touch it till it's dry. I will be able to remove it with my adhesive remover after. All right, so now instead of stamping, I've brought in some die cuts, and these are from the standalone dies in the annual catalog, the iconic dies. I absolutely love these dies, love them. So I thought, we're going feminine. There's nothing any more feminine than flowers. And the color pink. So I have a stitched oval, and then I have just a regular oval. I'm going to layer those two together. And that beautiful stitch detail. And then I am going to add my flower. And yes, I pre-did these because you guys don't need to see me die cutting and poking out little pieces. You just want to see how to do it and the end result. And I don't want to waste your time, quite frankly. So you'll notice that I only put the adhesive on these middle solid parts. And that's because I have some leaves here and I want to be able to tuck them in a little wee bit. Not a lot, just a wee bit. So I'm going to put one down here, maybe. Maybe I am. And I can go off the edge. And I'm going to put another one. Maybe I'll put two. Yeah, look at that. Maybe I'll put two down at the bottom. There we go. And then I took the bee and I cut him once in black, once in daffodil, and then I cut his wings in gold just because I wanted them to be beautiful. And I think I'm going to use a mini dimensional for this guy because we want to add some dimension. There we go. Isn't that cute? And I might take one of these mini pearls that are just sitting here and pop that on here for his eyeball. Check that out. Isn't that cool? I love it. All right, so now we have this piece that can go on here. We just have to make sure that our wings don't go above. So I'm going to use the same trick I did last time. I'm going to put it where I want it. Then I'm going to slide it down and put a mark. I'm going to put it back where I want it, slide it up, and put a mark. So I know that my adhesive has to go between those marks. And then when I put this on, it is going to cover those marks, no problem. All right, now we need to stamp a greeting. And I never thought that far ahead. So how about I have this one here. Oops, I'm throwing them around. This is an old stamp set, but we can use it. How about this is pretty little. Wonder if this happy. How about cheers to you? Cheers. Cheers to you. We will use that. Got myself worked into a little corner. again, I'm going to stamp this greeting. Well, we're doing well tonight. So far, so good. All right, I am going to glue this flat, and then I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals when I put it on the card. These other two leaves, I think I'll just tuck them in here on the inside of the card, because I can. And then we'll have to get our glue eraser and clean up that little mess. There we go. And glue eraser. If you leave it until it's dry, it's easier to remove and less likely to rip the paper. This isn't quite dry. There we go. Almost done. Almost like I never made a mistake. All right, now back to the dimensionals. Oh yes, I needed to talk to you guys about something else too while I think of it. I don't know about you, but I have problems seeing in very many occasions. But one thing that I had a real trouble seeing was the numbers down here on my paper trimmer. I couldn't see them for love nor money. So what I did is I cut a 1/4 inch piece of yellow cardstock and I put glue dots and I just put it on there, and look how easy you can see. Like I can see that from a mile away. So if you guys have any trouble seeing, I would strongly suggest that you try that too, because it works for me. All right, there we go. I don't think that needs too much more embellishment. On this one, I am going to glue this flap shut because that's just more ladylike. Brilliant. Yes, I've been called lots of things, Melanie, but brilliant has never been one of them. All right. So let me get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to bring this back in again one more time on how to case, not copy. And once again, it's not my idea, just something I need to share with you. Ardyth Percy-Robb, there's her YouTube channel, and she tells us how to case, not copy is LIMES. List, include, modify, exclude, and spin. There's the card I cased, and there are the 2 cards I made. Absolutely 100% don't look like I cased that card. They're totally different. So I encourage you guys to please give it a try. When you see a card you like, analyze it. Use LIMES, try it out, and see what you come up with. And if you like this, tell me about it. Go on the site. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If you could change things, if you have more ideas, I really would love to hear. All right, that's it for tonight, my friends. Thank you so very much for popping by. I appreciate it very much. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.